Hi, it's Miss Sandy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this, one of my favorite books, Pete the Cat. It has 4 groovy buttons. So some of you may have seen me read this last week, and I did, and I had on my shirt, my Pete the Cat shirt, and I lost my buttons, and they came back. But I want to talk a little bit, we're going to do a few activities with this book, talking about this book. Just to remind you, if you remember that the song that went along with it was about Pete the Cat was my buttons, my groovy, groovy buttons, my buttons, my groovy, groovy buttons. And he lost his buttons, and but he didn't cry and he didn't get upset because Pete the Cat is cool. He doesn't get upset about those things, does he? Okay, so there's about the buttons, and I have a lot of buttons here, and I want to show you some activities that we can do with these buttons. And one of them, and you can do it with buttons if you have lots of different ones, or you can do it with pennies, dimes, some coins, something like that. We're going to sort buttons. And some of you remember that we did that with shoes when we talked about Pete the Cat with his white shoes. But this time we're going to sort buttons. There's a lot of ways that we can sort these buttons. And one of them that stands out to me the most is by color. So I'm going to separate these buttons by color. And we have one, so I see red really stands out to me. So I'm going to put all the red buttons together. Okay. All right, and I'm going to take all of the pink buttons and put them together. And then I'm going to put the brown buttons together. And the orange buttons right here, there's only 3 green buttons there. And the blue buttons. So it looks like there's one gray in the middle. So that's a way of separating these or sorting them by color. Another way you might think of is by size. So there's many big buttons. Big buttons, big buttons. This to me is about a medium-sized button. And then I have little bitty tiny, maybe this is medium also, little tiny buttons. So I have big size or large, medium, and tiny. Okay, I have one more way we can sort these buttons. And that's by how many holes they have. So if you remember, if you can see this, I don't know if you can see that. This only has 2 holes. And most of these buttons have 4 holes. And the holes in the middle are what we use to sew the buttons on. That's what attaches them to us. My shirt has only 2 holes. Okay, so I'm going to try to separate these by how many holes they have. And we'll see which one we have the most of. They always either have 4 holes or 2 holes, or these do anyway. Ooh, lots of them that have 4 holes. Here's a 2 hole, a 2 hole, a 4 hole. Here's another one that's 2 holes, and this one looks like it has, and these all have 4 holes in them. So which one do you see the most of? The 4 holes or the 2 holes? I think it's more common probably to have 4 holes. All of these, of my group anyway, have 4 holes. Well, that's about all I'm going to talk about the buttons right now, but I'm going to be adding more things about Pete the Cat. We're going to keep talking about Pete the Cat, and I've got some other things to do with these buttons and their colors, and you'll see me again. We'll talk about that. Y'all have a great day. I miss you. I'm so glad to see you all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.